All right, people, I'm going to try to make this real quick here. I don't have a lot of time on the shills. The shills, forgive my language here, people, but these shills just piss me off. I mean, if they only knew, and I'm sure a lot of them do, and they're doing it for money, that that damn this, and in case I forget to say it later, you know, this system of money, it's what is feeding all the evil out there today, period. Why do people fight? And anyway, money needs to go. I'll cover that in depth later, but for right now, this is going to be on these shills because something's got to be done about them here. And it's just it's if it's going to affect people's lives like that, there ought to be some kind of law against it, especially if you're accepting money to, let's say, somebody calls you up, hey, how would you like to, like I covered this the other day, how would you like to, I will give you 2,500 a month, 3,000 a month to produce nicely this for us, and just send it back with, make sure these elements are in there, and we have say so over the final edit, and it will be going up on this video site or whatever. If it involves stuff like national news and stuff, and these people know that it involves national news that could affect people's lives, and as far as like either deceiving them, fooling them, or whatever, and they see it up there, they ought to either just stop, whoever they're, I don't care if you're in a contract or not, because that, this is a crime against humanity. Forget the U.S. laws and stuff. It's crimes against humanity if it's going to affect people's lives like that. Now, this is what I mean. If you're deceiving somebody, and let's say, I'm going to just start with my examples. This is the fastest way to do it. First of all, the other day I caught, and by the way, I'm going to say the last one first here. Had it planned for last, but people, if you're familiar with my story at all, you'll know that where I am right now, where I just by coincidence, this 7,000,001 coincidences that I have in the past 7 years, I can't seem to get out of this place for some reason. It's like a retirement home or whatever. Anyway, and I'm one of the younger ones here. Anyway, this is where they selected I go. But anyway, I'm thankful for a place to stay. But anyway, that's another story for another time. But every night or every day, whenever I turn on a device, usually about 30 to 45 seconds, I'd say, after that, I will get a massive helicopter fly over. It'll be one which will go low and keep circling overhead for a little bit, or it'll pass over at least, or like there was one night I couldn't even finish this because I got inundated with them so much. It seemed like there was like 3 or 4 up there, and they just kept circling in a ring overhead, probably about 50 to 100 feet above the top of my apartment building. But anyway, those of you who are familiar with my story know that they have been literally milking the material, the original material that I put out before, because they knew before I didn't upload anything. I just kept it for my personal memoirs. Well, they would milk it, and I'm going to find out that's what they were doing. I mean, there was just every single night. From the previous night, from the notes I put the previous night, I would see at least 1 or 2 or 3 that was in somebody's featured presentation. And it just, I finally started to understand what they had been doing. It's been going on for years, actually, and not just for news and stuff. It's been for business ideas, and I even caught a few, actually no, it was more than a few things of mine, let's just say, as I said them at the time, they happened to be filming certain movies at the time. I even caught it in that. Oh, that's cool. Well, I'll call so and so out in LA, and we'll, make sure he uses this in one of them. And it's symbolic. It's symbolic, and it has a purpose for them, and that's too much to go into now. But anyway, that's what they're doing to me, and I'm guarantee they do it to a lot of YouTube, but you just don't know. I know personally because I set little, let's just say, I guess you guys call them Easter eggs, and I would know they're very unique, and I would know if I heard them, and I heard them as, and I only did this on purpose, like 3 nights in a row, and I heard it every single night. The night after, actually one of them was like noon after, and so I know what I'm talking about. And it's just, I mean, yesterday I had, I had thrown there's 1 or 2 unique words I use that I like to be different, so that I had only, and me only, as I could find, because I cover, let's just say I cover certain sites very well. And all of a sudden, these 2 unique words that I had used for me, thank goodness I had uploaded it already, all of a sudden these other sites are using them now. And the only thing that does for me is it helps me identify the other SHILL accounts. But here's what I have a problem with. One of the SHILL accounts, this guy who sounds so sincere, he's with us, come on people, us who he uses the term we, it just made me sick, we know the truth, and these guys just don't, they don't know, well, they have several strategies when they use these SHILLs. One of them is like what this guy's doing. Sometimes they're with you the whole way until the very last minute, and then they mix truth with lies, usually 70-30, 80-20, 90-10. That's the hard ones, like 90-10. And some of them are all lies except for the last minute when they share one truth with you. And this has to do also with I'll cover this a little later on too. It's what I call the contract, because people, there seems to be, as I start to tell you what's going on here, and I know not just, you're gonna have to humor me here if you at all want to get this, because I am talking from personal experience and stuff that has already gone on with me that only now people are starting to see. So with me, it's like yesterday's news and elementary school. So I can see every single thing that's going on, and I know what it means. Or let's just say I have a pretty good idea of how to comprehend certain things, and my comprehension is telling me certain things. Okay, I have to be general. So this one guy is, now please note, they are trying, now this is to the best of my comprehension here, as to everything else I know, you have to go with the big picture and then work your way down. People try to, they always tend to look at what they see now, and then okay, well they must be trying to, no, you can't guess. All right, you have to go by what is there, what the big picture is, and then start your process of elimination backwards. Any good investigator will tell you that. So knowing the agenda, knowing the what they're somewhat trying to do here, it is extremely obvious. This is what I had put in something that I had, I think it was maybe a little less than a week ago, and it was called, I think it was called America Under Attack, Invasion Underway, or something like that. And it's very, 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 very accurate. So you know what? It's closing in on 10 minutes here. Let me come back here to you. I knew I wouldn't get this done in one part. In part two, and I'll be right back with you because I need to tell you what this guy did here. I'll be back.